So
1, 2, go.
So this one is the aorta, the abdominal aorta. So here there is a median sacral artery beneath, but it is we caught it. It is not here. Then there is also ovarian artery at this place. Also, it is not present here. Then there is also caudal mesenteric artery at the level of the bifurcation of the internal iliac artery. So these three arteries, they are not here: the caudal mesenteric artery, the ovarian artery, and the median sacral artery. So this one is the external iliac artery, and they are bilateral. This one is the left, this one is the right one. This one is the left external iliac artery, this one is the left internal iliac artery, and then this one is the right one. So this one remains the right external iliac artery and the right internal iliac artery. So the external iliac artery, the first branch of the external iliac artery is the deep circumflex iliac artery. Deep circumflex iliac artery. Then as it comes distally, it forms the femoral artery. The femoral artery. Then after the femoral artery, it gives a branch of deep femoral artery. This one, deep femoral artery. Then also it gives a pudendo-epigastric trunk. This place, pudendo-epigastric trunk. And after the pudendo-epigastric trunk, we have our caudal epigastric artery and the external pudendal artery. So this one is the external pudendal artery, and this one is the caudal epigastric artery. This one remains the deep femoral artery, then this branch of the deep circumflex iliac artery. Then the whole artery here is the external iliac artery. Then the internal iliac artery. The internal iliac artery, this one is the internal iliac artery. As it comes distally, it gives two branches. The big one, this one is the umbilical. This one is the umbilical artery, and the big one is the uterine, the one that goes to the uterus. The uterine artery and the umbilical artery, uterine artery, from the internal iliac artery. So this for the aorta. After the aorta, then we have the reproductive tract, the organs of the reproductive tract, starting from the uterus. This one is the part of the rectum, and this one is the ureter, the rectum. So this one is the uterus. The uterus has two parts. There is the uterine body and the horns, two horns and the uterine body, and here there is interconal ligament here. So in the female genital system, first we have the ovaries. There are two ovaries here. So this one is the left and this one is the right ovary. So the two ovaries and the uterus. The uterus has two parts, the body and the horn bar. These are the two horns. Then after the horns, we have the uterine tube or the fallopian tube or the oviduct. The distal part of it here is the infundibulum, then followed by the ampulla, and this one is the isthmus. So isthmus, ampulla, and the oviduct. Then there is broad ligament, this ligament that encircles the uterus. The one that encircles the body here is the mesometrium. Then the mesosalpinx, the one that encloses the uterine tube or the oviduct, and the mesovarium, the one that encircles the ovary. So mesovarium, mesosalpinx, and the mesometrium. So often transecting the uterus. The muscles that are found here, these are the myometrium. Then after the myometrium, then the internal lining membrane here forms the endometrium. So the muscle that is found lining the internal membrane is the endometrium. This one is the myometrium. Then there is these oval structures that are found on the endometriums. They are called the caruncles, uterine caruncles. And the uterine caruncles, this one is a non-pregnant animal. They are called uterine caruncles. But in the pregnant animals, they are enlarged. They are called the placentum. And it is made up of two parts, the uterine caruncles and the cotyledon from the fetus canal. So the cotyledon and the caruncles form the placentum. So in pregnant animal is placentum, and in the non-pregnant animal is called the uterine caruncles. So then after the uterus, then we have the cervix. Cervix here. The cervix is at the caudal end of the body of the uterus, and it has a hard consistency. It has a hard consistency, often palpation, and there is this spiral faults on the cervix. So this one is the cervix, from the caudal to the body of the uterus. Then the cervix is usually closed. Always the cervix is closed, unless during the heat period. That's the time that the cervix opens. Then after the cervix, we have our vagina. The vagina, from the cervix here, it is just a long narrow tooth. It is long and white, and the vaginal cavity, it extends from the cervix to the vestibule. So here the cervix, it extends from the cervix to the vestibule, and this external urethral orifice, it marks the caudal end of the vagina. And the external urethral orifice here, so it makes the caudal end of the vagina. And this one is the bladder. This one is the bladder. You see the ureter. So this one is the ureter. It enters the bladder, and this one is the urethra. So this one is the bladder. Here is the external urethral orifice. So here the vagina. Then after the vagina, we have vestibule, which extends from the level of the external urethral orifice to the vulva. From the external urethral orifice here to the vulva forms the vestibule. The vestibule. Yes. So then we have a clitoris. So this one is the clitoris. The clitoris is the homologue of the penis in the male animal. Then it lies at the ventral midline, close to the ventral commissure. So this one is the dorsal commissure here, and this one is the ventral commissure. So it is towards the ventral commissure, the clitoris. It is the homologue of the penis. Then the vulva. This one is the vulva. The vulva makes up the lips of the vagina, which they said that the lips meet dorsally and ventrally at the dorsal and the ventral commissure. So they meet dorsally here at the dorsal commissure, and they also meet ventrally here, dorsal commissure, and at the ventral commissure. So these are the vulva. I think this is part of the reproductive tract, female genital system. So this one is the genitofemoral nerve. So part of the female genital system. Here the vestibule, then the vagina, external urethral orifice, the urethra, the bladder, the ureter. After the ureter, then we have our cervix. After the cervix, then the uterus. After the uterus, then the ovary. Then the ovaries. So that's all for this thing. This one, the udder. So in sheep and goats, the udder has two mammary glands. The two mammary glands forms the udder, and in the cattle there are 4 mammary glands. So there are 4 mammary glands. So this one, the mammary glands, there are 2 mammary glands in the sheep and goats. So 4 mammary glands in the cattle, and there are 4 quarters. The mammary glands, they do not meet anatomy, they do not communicate anatomically. So they are enclosed by suspensory apparatus. We have the lateral laminae and the medial lamina. So they are separated by the suspensory apparatus. So often transecting the medial lamina here will separate the 2 mammary glands, so the right and the left. So often transecting the mammary gland, the milk flow goes like this. And before even transecting, there are nerves here, which are the superficial. And there is lymph node. This one, the superficial inguinal lymph node, and we have the external pudendal artery and vein. So this one, the external pudendal artery and vein, is superficial inguinal lymph node. As the artery and vein moves towards the mammary gland, they change to mammary artery and vein. So often transecting the mammary gland, the milk flow it starts from the alveoli. The alveoli which secrete the milk. Then from the alveoli, there are several alveoli. This gray portion, they are the alveoli. They secrete the milk. After they secrete the milk passes through the excretory ducts. You see the excretory ducts? They are small. They are not well developed in this specimen. So after the alveoli, then the milk passes through the several excretory ducts. Then from the excretory duct, the milk is conveyed through the lactiferous duct to the gland sinus. This place is the gland sinus. There are so many sinuses here. So the gland sinus. So from the alveoli, it passes through the excretory duct. From the excretory duct, it passes through the lactiferous duct to the gland sinus. Then after the gland sinus, it passes to the teat sinus. Then after the teat sinus, the milk passes through the teat canal, and after the teat canal, it passes through the teat orifice. So from the alveoli, excretory duct, lactiferous duct, the gland sinus, from the gland sinus, then the teat sinus, from the teat sinus, then the teat canal, and to the teat orifice. It passes through the teat orifice during milking. So that's all for the udder, the mammary gland. So this one is a semantic diagram of the milk flow, starting from the alveolus, then the excretory duct, then the lactiferous duct, gland sinus, then to the teat sinus, and to the teat orifice.